The Scarlett Files. Episode 4 Remastered. The Exchange. The Exchange. 20-minute atomic retaliation. Unprecedented. 20-minute atomic retaliation. The Exchange. The Exchange was the event that ended the great space race between the two global superpowers, the United States and the USSR, on August 21st, 2011. This conflict followed nearly 4 decades of an extremely costly space race that saw both superpowers establish permanent lunar colonies, achieve Martian landings, and, following the success of rival heavy-lift launch systems, begin tentative resource extraction throughout the solar system, such as from Phobos and the asteroid belt. These efforts, while technologically impressive, placed immense strain on the terrestrial resources and budgets. This period of rising tension was marked by several near-catastrophic incidents, including the 1990 United States annexation of Iraq, the 1993 plutonium satellite re-entry incident over North America, the 1996 armed confrontation at the Lunar Armstrong base, and the 2005 USSR-Polish border standoff. Despite multiple UN efforts to reduce the conflict, especially with the 2004 partial nuclear satellite ban treaty, tensions finally reached their peak between USSR and NATO forces, with Ukraine's 2011 accession into NATO, leading to the eventual assassination of the President of the United States, Chennai Augustine, by what was suspected to be a pro-USSR-backed terrorist organization, as Soviet forces simultaneously advanced into Ukraine. Following the soon-to-be fatal assassination attempt on President Augustine, she authorized a nuclear ICBM launch under standing retaliation protocols. The following event, known as the Exchange, lasted only 20 minutes. 20 minutes lunch break. Correction, 19 minutes 42 seconds. At 2:41 Eastern Standard Time, NORAD detected approximately 689 intercontinental ballistic missiles inbound to the United States. NATO forces were authorized to retaliate under Article 5 of the Alliance Treaty. Fighter craft were scrambled to intercept as many as they could. However, it is estimated that 72% of the ICBMs got through coastal defenses and the subsequent fighter screen. At 2:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, traffic cameras in downtown New York City captured civilians staring up into the skies, unknowingly watching the exchange unfold before them. At exactly 2:47:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the traffic cameras across the city were lost. Emergency alert systems across the eastern coast activated 4 seconds later. Within 20 minutes, the eastern seaboard of the United States, Moscow, St. Petersburg, the British Isles, Western Europe, and American-occupied Iraq were obliterated in atomic fire. Existing off-world colonies on Luna, Mars, and the Jovian moons were largely cut off following the exchange, facing extreme isolation and resource challenges, though many survived and later reintegrated or maintained autonomy under the Gaian Federation. The 8 years following the exchange were marked by global environmental stabilization efforts, starting in 2014, societal collapse in many regions, and complex political negotiations among the surviving powers. Intense debates between the new nation-states began.
We cannot afford another hesitation, another debate, another chain of command failure. From this day forward, humanity must speak with one voice. The scars of the old world are fresh, but we cannot afford to fail. Humanity is beautiful and terrible. We built cities on the moon and weapons in orbit, and we forgot how to talk to each other. Our pursuit of knowledge must never again outrun our capacity for restraint. Never again can security come at the cost of our humanity. If this species is to survive in the century ahead, it must not survive as factions. It must survive as one civilization. And as one authority.
Eventually, after countless political disagreements and petty, baseless arguments, the framework for the Gaian Federation was finally established in 2019. The remaining surviving nation-states vowed never to let a catastrophe happen like this again. However, the structural tensions that preceded the exchange remained intact. Despite humanity being spread throughout the solar system as early as 1990, it was not until the invention of the Sullivan slip drive, pioneered by Francis Scott Sullivan in 2022, that propelled humanity across the stars. This drove the expansionist period of the Gaian Federation. Within decades, over 500 worlds fell under Federation jurisdiction within a 400 light-year radius, with Earth remaining as the dominant power among them all. However, as humanity continued to expand across the Orion Arm, Long-standing political and economic grievances intensified. In 2035, several frontier worlds formally rejected Terran authority and organized under a unified secessionist movement, known as the Earth Secessionist Forces. Despite the strides that the Gaian Federation made to unite humanity under one banner, diplomatic efforts to reconcile the outer systems with Terran authority deteriorated over the following years. In 2051, open hostilities commenced. This conflict would become known as the Frontier War. End log.